Hello, third graders. Welcome back to our Making Meaning lessons for this week. This is the week of May 4th to May 8th, and we have this is the first of two Making Meaning lessons. And May 4th, today's May 4th. What does that mean? Oh, today is International Star Wars Day. And here's my little friend Kylo Ren here to kind of keep an eye on us. I hope he doesn't do anything menacing. Anyway, so we're going to be learning about the saguaro cactus today. So let's get after it. All right, readers, your job today is to pay attention to these student learning targets. We are going to hear and discuss an expository nonfiction text. We're going to identify what we learn from the text. We'll think about and write about important ideas in the text. We'll make inferences to understand the text. We'll read independently for up to 25 minutes, and then we'll also give reasons for our thinking. For example, we'll say things like, the reason I think this is. So you can say, I think Mr. Marx is crazy. The reason why I think this is, he likes to play with minifigures and make cartoons out of them. All right, for our distance learning adjustments we'll be making today is instead of partners, you can use a stuffed animal, a toy, or even another human being, which would be the best thing you can do. I'll be using my friends Scooby-Doo and Shaggy this week, and maybe next week I might even introduce, since it's International Star Wars Day, Kylo Ren and his alter ego Ben Solo. But that's next week, so you'll have to tune in for that. Anyway, so during turn and talks, we'll pause and you turn and talk to your partner, your pet, your hamster, your wall, your book, whatever it is. As long as you're talking about it, because later you're going to be writing about what you're thinking. So it's important that you understand what you read and then talk about it and then use that to write about it. Okay, readers, so we are once again going to be looking at the book Lifetimes by David L. Rice, and today we're going to be learning about the saguaro cactus. So, what do you think you know about cactuses? Turn to your partner. Well, they don't need much water to grow. They grow in the desert. They grow in the desert? I mean they grow in the desert. And like Scoob, they have spikes that will prick you if you touch them. Yeah, that's right. Cactus tend to have spikes on them as well. And hey, look, here's a picture of my phantom student, Sally, and she's with her Christmas cactus. Notice it actually has some flowers on it as well, plus little also spikes too. All right, readers, it's time to read aloud and think about the information we learned. So, the text we're going to be reading today is from the Lifetimes book by David L. Rice, and the excerpt is A Lifetime of a Saguaro Cactus is about 100 years. So I wanted to talk about a couple of the text features before we read this paragraph. If you notice that right here next to saguaro, it gives you the phonetic spelling. That means it tells you how to pronounce it. It's not saguaro, it's saguaro. Also, right here, that little circle, that stands for degrees. For example, this is 120 degrees Fahrenheit. The F stands for Fahrenheit. That's what you use to measure temperature. And 120 degrees, by the way, it's really hot. Also down below here we have some vocabulary. 250 gallons, it tells you that's about 4 bathtubs full of water. And thrives means it grows easily. So think about what you are learning from the text as I read this paragraph out loud. A lifetime for a saguaro cactus is about 100 years. If water were money, the saguaro would be rich. The saguaro grows in the desert where it doesn't rain for 8 or 9 months at a time. The temperature can get as hot as 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Most plants can't live in such a hot, dry place. But when it does rain, the saguaro saves as much as it can. It can store up to 250 gallons of water in its thick stem to keep it alive until the next rain. Where most plants can't grow at all, the saguaro thrives and grows up to 60 feet tall. The saguaro shares its wealth. Many desert animals depend on the saguaro for food and moisture. Native Americans who live in the desert use its juicy red fruit to make jam or syrup. Looking at the pictures there, you can see how these cactus can grow very tall. And here's even a picture of an animal, a bird, enjoying the red fruit. Now, readers, what do you think? What interesting things have you learned about saguaro cactuses? Turn to your partner.
Well, I learned that the saguaro cactus grows in the desert where it's over 100 degrees. Zoinks! I learned that the saguaro can store up to 250 gallons of water.
All right, readers, we're going to read this a second time. And this time, when I read it the second time, I want you to think about what seems to be the most important to understand and remember. A lifetime for a saguaro cactus is about 100 years. If water were money, the saguaro would be rich. The saguaro grows in the desert where it doesn't rain for 8 or 9 months at a time. The temperature can be as hot as 120 degrees. Most plants can't live in such hot, dry place. But when it does rain, the saguaro saves as much as it can. It stores up to 250 gallons of water in its thick stem to keep it alive until the next rain. Where most plants can't grow at all, the saguaro thrives and grows up to 60 feet tall. The saguaro shares its wealth. Many desert animals depend on saguaro for food and moisture. Native Americans who live in the desert use its juicy red fruit to make jam or syrup. Now, writers, it's time to write about what you just read. What are some good writing tips?
Scooby? Be sure to read reasons for your drinking.
Reasons for your rinking?
Sorry. Be sure to give reasons for your thinking. You can say, I think the most important thing to remember about saguaro cactuses is...
The reason I think this is... Good point there, Shaggy. Yes, this is a good template you can use. So if you want to pause now and use this for your writing to help you on SeeSaw today, this is a good tip. I think the most important thing to remember about saguaro cactuses is, and then give you a reason. The reason I think this is, so there you go. Okay, readers, it's time to write about your reading. So before you go to IDR today, go back to SeeSaw and write to your teacher about what you think is the most important thing to remember about saguaro cactuses. If we had our student response books, you can use this page right here, which asks, what do you think is most important to understand and remember from the passage about saguaro cactuses? Share your thinking with your partner. Then write your ideas on the lines below. Now, Shaggy gave you a nice little template to use. You can use that, and then go off and read on your own. Scooby, would you like to do the honors?
After you write to your teacher about what you learned about the saguaro cactus, go and read independently for 25 minutes. Off you go. Scooby-Doo-Doo!
Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to check out these other YouTube videos from our very own Mr. T and this flock. Next time, we'll be learning about the life of the hermit crab. You can make some text-to-self connections. Remember, we watched that cool video called Piper with the hermit crab on it? All right. See you next time, everybody.
May the force be with you always.